If you're a landlord and you're conducting the viewings yourself, how exactly should you organise it? Let me share with you how I do it after this. Hi, my name is Tony Law from Your First Four Houses, and my channel is all about helping you achieve financial freedom through property. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on anything. So this is one of 6 videos that I put together for you, all of which is designed to help you find and keep the very best tenants in your properties. And I've broken them down into 6 different lessons. We've got demand, advertising, viewings, referencing, retaining, and sadly removing tenants. And this one's going to be all about how to conduct the viewings. So the first thing I want to say to you is before that tenant actually turns up for the viewing, be it an HMO, be it a single let, be it a house, whatever it might be, you've got to make sure that you are presenting a show home of a property. So go round, let's assume it's an HMO for a moment. Go round, make sure that you've plucked the socks off the radiator. Make sure that you've cleaned up all the debris that's in the sink, the cups that are hanging around. Just give the pillows a bit of a tidy. Make sure that it looks really presentable. This may sound really obvious, but goodness knows a lot of people don't do this. They don't get there early to make sure that the house is really presentable. Next, and I know this is going to be a little bit controversial, I'd encourage you to arrange your viewings back to back, not book block viewings. So I should explain that. What a lot of people sort of suggest is that you book block viewings. You get 5, 6, 10 people in the house at the same time. The theory being, if they're walking around with lots of other tenants or potential tenants also in the room, they're going to be thinking to themselves, wow, there's a big demand for this place. I must slap down my deposit quickly. I don't think that doesn't personally work for me. And the reason it doesn't is I want to be able to spend 10 minutes with an individual. If I spend 10 minutes, 5 minutes, couple of minutes even, and have a genuine conversation with somebody just for a few minutes, I will get a real sense of whether I want them in my property. And I can't do that. I just can't do it if I've got 5 or 6 people milling around the property. It's just awkward. So I organise back-to-back time slots, and I actually encourage you to book your time slots in at odd times. So give a tenant an appointment time slot of 2:05 on a Saturday afternoon, for example, and make it very clear in the text that you that you send out, which should be an automated text. And I can talk about how to do that at another time. You make sure that you make it very clear that they need to get there on time. And if they get there early, they're to wait outside and text you when they're there and only ring the doorbell at 2:05. And you explain that's because you've got tenants before and of course you've got tenants after. So you still achieve the same aim that you would with a block viewing, that sense that, oh, there's a lot of interest in this particular property. But now you get to spend 10 minutes having a genuine chat to this person and seeing if they're right for your property. Next, I need you to sell yourself. That sounds wrong, but sell yourself to this potential incoming tenant. Really come across as a genuinely nice guy or girl, as a great landlord, frankly, because this is going to be one of the things they're going to be judging you on. I'm sure other landlords watching this are fully aware of the scenario where you get the daughter coming along with the mum in tow. She's going to be looking just at you just as much as she is at the rest of the house. But just make sure that it's really obvious that you are a caring person, that you're there to answer any questions that they've got. You'll be over on a regular basis to make sure that they're happy. If they've got any questions, they can call you at any time. This kind of thing, and that will carry a lot of weight with that particular tenant. I would suggest you have your tenants on hand, your existing tenants on hand if it's an HMO. And after before I have WhatsApp groups for each of my HMOs, and I let the house know that we've got a tenant actually coming to view the property. And I sort of make it really clear that, you know, if they are on hand, if they're around, just sort of say hi as a tenant walks by. That would be greatly appreciated. And after that tenant's actually gone from the property, I then turn to the existing tenants and I ask them for their opinion. And they really appreciate this. They like to get involved in this kind of process. Obviously, we're not going to say anything derogatory about the tenant that's just been in. Obviously not. But it's just that I can sort of ask them their opinion. What did you think? Do you think they might fit in really well with the house here. And those tenants really appreciate that. And obviously they're going to be living with this particular new incoming tenant. So I think it's important that you get their input. Lastly, and I think this is really the most important bit of all of this, trust your gut instinct. What does that tenant say to you? When that tenant walks in the door, how do you feel? Do you get an instant sense that they're just a nice person? Do you instantly kind of want them in your house? Or is there something that you can't maybe put into words? And I want to share a quick story here, if I may. I never forget, I had a viewing on one of my HMOs. A guy came along and he sounded fantastic on the phone. He ticked all the boxes, frankly. He walked in the property. We walked into the kitchen together and we stopped. I turned to sort of talk to him and he was about that far away from me. It was really quite odd. He was well within my kind of space, if you know what I mean. And it made me feel uncomfortable. I can't really say any more than the fact that it's one of those things you can't really put into words, but I felt instantly uncomfortable with his close proximity. And I was potentially going to be putting this individual, this guy, into a house with a lot of other girls in it. And I just didn't feel comfortable. I had 4 or 5 other tenants in that day, or potential tenants in that day, and so I simply chose another person. If I'd have taken him on just what I knew about him, he was a perfect tenant. But when I saw him, when he did that, I just felt really uncomfortable. I trusted my gut and I went with somebody else. And so I'd encourage you to place a lot of weight on what your gut is telling you, frankly. That's it. I hope you found that one really helpful. I've got lots of other topics on this subject that I'm looking forward to sharing with you, geared around helping you find and keep great tenants. So be sure to subscribe to this channel, and that way I can keep you up to date with when the next video is available. My name is Tony Law from Your First 4 Houses, and I've also got a couple of other videos here that I hope you'll find helpful. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.